Today on JiK Labs, we're going to look at the design of your pivot table. So we're not focusing on the data, but rather the appearance of your pivot table. Let's get started. Now that we have Excel open and ready to go, you're going to see the data in the pivot table we've been working with in the last couple of videos. So right now this pivot table is not have a lot of data in it. It's just pretty much the salesperson and cost of sales and GP dollars. Now let's add in some more data in the rows, and now we can see that we have the months, all of that data, and we can expand this out and we can see how everything looks, which is great. But we want to change the way this looks a little bit. Originally a very simple pivot table, there isn't much need really to change the layout. But as you build and add in more data and more fields, and as it gets expanded, it could become difficult to read. So this example, say Alice was off the screen and we're down here and we don't see the headers or what have you. So let's take a look at how to change the look of the pivot table. So just like as we did before, we are clicking inside the confines of our pivot table. We were looking at pivot table analyze. We're not looking at that today. Today we're going straight to design. And you see in our ribbon, it's bringing up some new information. We can change the color formatting to some defaults to whatever you wish. You can scroll through, make it look however you want. We'll just keep it the original for now. And your pivot table styles, you can have header rows or get rid of them. You can have column headers, bolded or not, and then you can have the bandit rows, which adds in color, and the bandit columns as well. This just makes it a little bit easier to read some items. Also, if you notice on the layout, you can have subtotals and grand totals. If you click on each one of those down drops, it's going to say, don't show me subtotals, or you can say, let's show the subtotals at the top. So right now we can see Alice has a total of 13 and 22,000 in sales. Same thing with February, there were 9 sales and 17,000 worth of sales, and those are bolded numbers. The numbers down here are not bolded, and that is for that month of February. If we were to collapse that, we would see just the summary or the subtotal of February. Expand that guy out. Also, you can come in here and say, no, I don't want to see any subtotals, and that gets rid of it as well. Grand totals, we can say on or off for rows and or columns. In our data, we don't really have a purpose for the columns, but if we come down to the bottom, we can see if we see grand totals off, the grand totals disappear. If we come back in and we say grand totals on, and there we go. Likely so, we can have different report layouts directly next to it. If you click on this guy, you can show in compact form, which we are now, outline form, which kind of drops it down as if you're, your old childhood school making your outlines, and so in tabular format, which kind of puts it all on one line. Or you can come in here and say right here we don't have any data, but we could say repeat all line datas on every line, and bam, there we go. We have February, so on and so forth as we scroll down. So it's just a matter of personal preference of how you would like this to look. You can also add in blank rows in between each field. And as you scroll down, you have those spaces. If you want to remove them, just say remove. It's really just a matter of playing around and seeing how you want your data to look. So bandit rows, non-bandit rows. Now let's say you want to go back to the way it was originally. We can just go show in compact view, and then there we are back to the how it was when we originally reported it. Again, if you go back to outline, and since we've said keep all items repeating, it now has the outline. Or if we come in here and say do not repeat all item labels, there we go. So those are some very quick and easy ways to change your layouts. Earlier when I showed you the styles, I was clicking here on the right hand side, but if you click this down drop arrow for more, it gives you don't have to scroll. You can go through and see how everything is going to look without all of the scrolling. It just expands that window for you. Thank you for joining us today as we looked at the design of the pivot tables. Microsoft Excel has some built-in features that allows you to change the look and overall layout of your pivot table to however you prefer it to look. The compact form may work for you, outline may work for you. We're not here to tell you which form to use. We're just here to show you that there are different options. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you all again next week.